Okay, so for our hurricane unit and all the lessons that we're doing for the hurricane unit, we're going to be using the National Hurricane Center website a lot. So this is just kind of an intro video on how to use that site. So the first thing you're going to do, so we're on Google page. If you have a lot of tabs open and you don't want to close any of them, you could always just add a new one. Okay, so you're going to go to www.nhc for National Hurricane Center .noaa .gov because it's a government site. And NOAA stands for National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, I think. They do all kind of weather stuff. They have a lot of really good tools that we'll be using again. So okay, so this is the main page of the National Hurricane Center. So if we scroll down a little bit, it automatically puts us I've been here before, so it automatically takes me to the Atlantic basin. If you live in like California or on the Pacific coast, you could choose one of these. So like Eastern Pacific, that shows you what's going on like right here. See, they have more stuff going on right now than we do. Or you could do Central Pacific if you're interested in like Hawaii. Ta-da! So see, it says tropical cyclone activity is not expected in the next 48 hours. So they're not supposed to get any hurricanes or anything. We're going to go up to the Atlantic because that's what we're interested in. Okay, so if I scroll down, I see some things. First off, I see a big map. So this tells me where any storms are that are either already formed or that might form. So like right now, we have this Tropical Depression 11. It hasn't been named yet. Scroll down a little bit so my picture's not in the way. So if you hover over it, you don't even have to click on it. If you just hover over it, it tells you what's going on. So it says, okay, well, as of 11 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time, this is what was going on. It's got 30 knot winds. A knot stands for nautical mile. It's a little bit larger, a little longer than a land mile. We'll talk about that probably next week. It also gives its location. So see, it has 12.4 north, 44.2 west. So there's a lot of information right here in this little thing that we'll be using. But okay, so if you scroll down, it gives you, if there are any storms going on, like this is a little summary of what's happening. These are good maps, this warning cone and static images. If there's a storm, then you can always click on this. It tells you like where they're expecting it to go. So if I scroll down, so see right now, it's not a tropical storm yet. This S means tropical storm. So this means, and I think they have down here what it means. So this means that, so this is 11 a.m. Wednesday. By Thursday morning, it's supposed to be here. By Saturday morning, here. So this is like the track that they expect it to take. So this one isn't going to be a threat to us. It'll just kind of spin off into the Atlantic somewhere. But okay. I'm going to go back. Okay, from this main page, there are several things you can do. Like you can click on this. It'll give you the little black and white satellite image of what's going on. That's not the fun one. What I like to do is I like looking at the satellite imagery because it's cool. So if you go up here to the top, so you have all these little menu options. This data and tools is what we're going to use the most. This top one is the satellite imagery. This is really cool. This is real-time satellite stuff from like now. The other one we're going to use is this blank tracking maps. We're going to look at that in a minute. First, let's go to satellite imagery. So if we click on that, it takes us to this. Okay, so we have a lot of things to choose from. I usually go to this Atlantic wide view. But you could click on these different things and see what's going on. Okay, so like full disk Atlantic, I think this is, it just shows you the big round. This is the Earth. Here's Texas. Here's Florida. This is the Atlantic. Some Pacific stuff going on down here. So that one's cool, but it's a little too big. I like going to just the Atlantic view. So if we go to the Atlantic view, the geo color is the cool one. You know, you've got all these different, like you've got shortwave infrared, you've got water vapor, whatever, and you've got the image. So if you click on visible image, it just gives you the black and white, and that one's okay, but the geo color is really cool. So if we click on that, we get like, this is a satellite view of the Earth with all the little things going on. So like this is that tropical storm depression or tropical depression 11 that we were looking at. That's it right there. And notice that my little cursor is a magnifying glass. If I click on that, it'll blow it up wherever I am. So right there, that's that little tropical depression. Notice it's already starting to get a little swirl. The other view that's good for us is the Gulf of Mexico view because that's where we are. So again, I go to the geo color because it's cool. And there we go. Now this is a live view and it's daytime right now. So if you look at this like at night, usually it's darker. You don't get the whole, daylight view. Okay, so we have some little storm clouds, nothing to talk about or to be concerned about. Okay, so that's the satellite imagery, and there are tons of them that you can check out. There are Pacific views. There are all kind of things. Oh, sea surface temperatures. That's interesting. That's a good one. So normally the waters have to be a certain temperature before hurricanes will form because a hurricane really is just a heat transfer engine. So when the oceans here down around the equator and down in the tropics get a little too hot, the quickest way to take energy out of that is to evaporate hot water and then move it up north and rain down somewhere else. So that's what a hurricane does. It takes extra heat out of the ocean and it redistributes it up north where it's cooler. Well, and also on land. So like right now, the temperatures are pretty warm, especially right here by us. Okay. The other thing on data and tools, oops, that's just a forecast. You can click on all these different things and just kind of play around with it. The other thing that we're going to use under data and tools is this blank tracking maps. So if I click on that, so some of your assignments, I'm already going to have the map there and you'll just have to fill it in. But some of them you might want to either print it out or you might want to insert it as an image. So if you already watched our Canva videos, you know that there are several different ways of saving files. In this case, you have two options for your tracking chart. First off, we want the Atlantic Basin because that's where we are, even though the Eastern Pacific kind of carries over and has us too. But here, if we save it as a PDF, this is a document format. This is good if you need to print it out. If you want to insert it as an image into something, you're going to want to save it as a PNG. That's forget what it's called, forget what it stands for, but it's an image graphic is what that is. So if we click on that, it goes like this. So this is just an image. So you can click on it and zoom in if you want to. But what you would do then, if you want to insert this into something, you could do this two ways. You could either just push Control-C, and that copies, and then you would push Control-V and paste into whatever. Or you can right-click on this. Now, if you're on a Chromebook, you don't have the little buttons by the little finger mouse pad thingy that you have. The way you right-click on a Chromebook is you take your two fingers and touch them at the same time. That's the equivalent of a right-click. So if I do that here, even on a laptop, it pulls up this. So what you would do is you can either copy image and insert wherever, or you could save image as. So a lot of times I'll just save image as because I'll use things more than once. So tracking chart Atlantic, I'm going to leave it just like that. So now if I have a Google slide or a Google Doc or anything else, or even like if I want to put that into a Canva graphic, then I have that saved. So if I go down to my folders, and I go, that's my cat. She's so cute. If I go to pictures, and then I can look through, where did it go? Tracking chart Atlantic, here it is. So if I want to insert, I just insert it from right there. Okay, so this is just a basic introduction to our National Hurricane Center. You don't have to just stick to the things that I clicked on. You can explore it. It's got a ton of different tools. Tropical cyclone names, the wind scales, records and facts, historical hurricane summaries. Like, it's got all kind of stuff. So this is a really, really neat website, and it's nhc.noaa.gov. Okay, so that's your intro lesson. In Schoology, you'll have an assignment, just a really short one. Okay, thanks.